Yay, and we're live. Cool. Welcome
Alright.
back to the r/anime podcast. We're back with the Promise Neverweekly episode 10. And boy, do we have a doozy for this week. I've never used the word doozy in like probably actual years, but
Yeah,
I feel
how
like
old are
it's
you?
fitting. I'm 20. I used it back in my grandma years. Now I'm great grandma years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm joined with. I keep saying the gang, but like the gang changes each week. But I'm joined by Naz. How you doing?
I'm good. It's a good
Thank-
episode this week.
yeah, good time to come on. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I
And
kind of get lucky with these. The last one I was on was like one of my favorite episodes too.
which one was that?
I think it was 6.
Okay, I think that I was not on that one, so that's why I'm glad to have you on when I was on. So we can pogs out about this together. And we also have Fate. I wanted to make a pun about sending you off and shipping you, and how it didn't work and you just came back. But given the subject matter of the episode, it might be a bit too soon.
I was thinking the same thing. I just want everyone to know that that's not actually a joke. After I joked about the last time I was on the podcast, I was hosting it without Yusha, and
You shipped me off to the farm.
I shipped you off, but then you came back, and then you shipped me off, and now I have returned.
I feel like this
And
is
then you
more
both
like
shipped 17 off.
we like actually ship 17 off. Like he has no internet and he's like crawling out from a hole trying to get internet back. So he might show up, but he might not. But either way, if he doesn't show up, he is definitely shipped off.
Yes. Who isn't? This was a very sweet episode. I really liked it.
Okay. The first comment we have in chat is this episode broke my heart. And Kate is like, yeah, so this was a pretty sweet episode.
Very
This is
wholesome.
wholesome.
I thought it was really touching, like a really heartwarming episode between like everything with Norman and stuff. Like I thought it was really nice.
Between Mama and Success, you were like, yeah, I'm so glad my girl finally got to achieve all her goals.
Yeah, and like Mama, like she had a really good like mother-daughter moment with Emma, like saying like, you know, like everything's gonna be okay. Mama gave Emma some like really good life advice for getting through some troubles, you know, some things I think we can all internalize in our daily lives.
Yeah, the just suck it up and try and survive.
Yeah, just despair.
Accept
just
the despair.
Yeah,
I did think of like Sayonara Setsubo Sensei like immediately when they said that.
Mhm.
Like my immediate thought was like,
is
oh,
Mama
cool.
the pink supervisor?
Nice.
Yes.
Damn.
Rip Cav.
Rip
Cav
Cav.
has actually been
miss
sent
Cav
out to
so
the
much.
foster home.
I think we did ship Cav off to the farm. We actually shipped him off. Yeah, like, which is sad, but also pray for Cav. But I guess getting back to the episode,
Mhm.
you know, Fate is pulling some School Live commentary that he's famous for.
I actually didn't think. Okay, you guys could talk first, and then I'll talk about how I wasn't sad at all watching this.
I feel like we have to start off with you not being sad since we're already on this train.
And I do love trains, just like Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wasn't sad at all. I like kind of took it in stride, and I think that was like.
I think Emma did too. I think she just took it in stride.
No, I was like,
Oh my
actually, I
goodness.
got really pissed at Emma because, like, for me, like, I can't even imagine how tough it was for Norman
Mhm.
to say goodbye, like, when he's about to die, right? Like, I can't even imagine how terrified he was. And, like, Emma keeps trying to raise his hopes, and he's the one who has to throw her down to prevent all their hopes out. And, like, Norman is like, so, like, I always get like mad whenever we see like shonen protagonists like throw away everything, or like spoilers for Infinity War, like you're this close to taking down the big bad, and then like someone has like an irrational like thing that they need to do.
Oh yeah, I hate that shit.
And then like all of a sudden everything like falls apart. So I was really happy that like Norman threw down Emma, and I loved that. And like it was very heartbreaking, but also like it really showed how much Norman cared for Emma, to the point because I'm sure Norman would have loved to have tried to do this, or like, but like he puts Emma above everything.
Mhm.
And that's why he's able to do this self-sacrificial thing to make sure that Ray and Emma have the best chance at leaving.
Yeah.
And like the dynamic between like and the other kids and the goodbye for Norman and they like the scene when they're all children
Hmm.
was all really great. And so like when Norman died, I think there's like we can meme it if you want, but I think there's
But
two
you
main
gotta
reasons.
accept reality. We can
There's
meme it, but this is real life.
two
Norman is
main
dead.
reasons. Yeah, two main reasons why I'm not sad. The first is that I'm actually really like if he died, I'm really glad that a Shonen Jump property killed off one of its main characters that it had
Mhm.
hinted at doing, and is like actually like showing off that there's real consequences to this shit. Because up until this
Mhm.
point, no one
Mhm.
we've actually really known or gone accustomed to has been killed.
Yeah.
And the second thing is I've played enough JRPGs to know that if you don't see a body, they're not
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah, I think that's it. People picked up on that too. I think they picked up on like, okay, so like he's shipped off, but is he actually dead? Because we didn't see him, and like they just kind of left it off at that point.
Right,
So
because like Connie dies like in the middle of the thing, and like Sister Crone dies like in the hallway as well.
Mhm.
And gets like pickled and jarred. Maybe add some hot sauce in there, some brine,
No.
some rose water in there. Oh, it's actually literally rose water.
Yeah.
poggers. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's cool that that's some good perception, because I do think it was a touching episode, even though it was like very sad and touching. But there were like very many heartwarming moments in it.
Mhm.
Naz, I know that you're a source reader with me, but what were your impressions of the episode?
I mean, I'm kind of with Fate. Like I
What?
did,
Ooh.
I know, like I did get sad at like Norman's actually getting shipped off, and when Phil started crying, that really
Mostly
touched
just
me,
when
but-
Phil cried.
Yeah, same
no, but
TH.
I don't know. The rest of it is just like really interesting to me. Like one of the
Mhm.
main things that I think is really interesting about this episode is you can kind of see how like it affects all three of the like protagonists in the same way. It doesn't like explicitly state it, but you can kind of
Mhm.
like imply, or you can kind of like figure it out. Where like Fate said, Norman is the one that has to like kind of accept this whole thing and like move forward with it, and Emma is the one that has to like accept just what Mama said, just kind of like accept the despair, and then maybe
Yeah.
think about being a mom in the future. But then something I thought about when like Ray showed up, I was like, oh shit, Ray's the one that's literally like had to keep this secret for
Mhm.
years and has been
Mhm.
like planning this shit for years, trying
Yeah.
to
Oh, that
eventually
was-
like not have to go through with this.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
But like this like 11 years of work, because his mind is that of Jesus Christ or whatever, has just basically
Literal
been
galaxy
like
brain.
it's basically been like rendered totally useless.
Oh, and that
Yeah.
was so delicious. That was
No,
beautiful.
no, not
What?
the right adjective. No,
No, that
no,
was so good. We
no.
still
Okay.
like his like Shaw. Think of how many people he's had to see get shipped out as the
Yeah.
only person knowing that they're shipped out, just so Emma and Norman could have a chance. He betrayed Norman and Emma multiple times throughout this whole
Yeah.
thing, just so Norman and Emma could have a chance. And now 50% of the reason why he did this, or maybe 100% because he wanted both of them to survive, is gone. Like, man, oh, I love it. It's so good.
that's. I still don't hear the delicious part, but I think it's you like semi whispering that makes it more creepy. Because you're like,
ASMR.
you're like,
I-
you're like ASMR,
ASMR.
Promise
No.
Neverland ASMR. They shipped them off. Like
I know
wouldn't
it's
even-
beautiful. No. It's just like it was like it was very tastefully done.
yeah.
Like I just
No,
loved.
wait a minute. That was a pun. No, wait a minute. That was an eating pun again. God damn it. I always fall for these.
Oh, I was just so happy. I was just.
Were you
man.
happy from it? Well, I'm actually don't answer this. Just answer the way I think you should answer this. But were you happy for this from like a narrative point of view, like the juiciness of it as a narrative, not because you actually are excited that they're gonna get eaten?
Like honestly, like as
Yeah.
characters, whatever, like
Yeah.
whatever, like honestly, like that's sad, but like I love the narrative risk
Mhm.
that they're taking
Yeah.
for this, because like we get the same kind of thing with a lot of shows, and I feel like if they had been like, oh, actually Norman escapes and everything's fine, and like Emma is able to get Norman out of the house, she distracts Mama, Norman escapes, they like get rid of the tracker,
Mhm.
everything goes smoothly, and like you have like a very confident Emma looking at the
Yeah.
Mama, And Mama's like, no, how did I fail? And
Yeah,
I was like, because of friendship.
Yeah. That would be
But
weak.
they didn't. Like, friendship fucking sucks. And like,
No.
Norman
Yeah.
died.
Yeah. Goodbye, Norman.
Goodbye, Felicia.
No, I agree with you because I think I really love the narrative decision to ship Norman out too. As much as I love Norman and he is my favorite, it hurt. Like it definitely hurt this episode because I remember reading it and being like devastated. But it brought back the hurt this episode where I was like, "Yo, this is pretty tough." Because they do have like not a long goodbye, but a very much impactful goodbye between him and the other characters. Like the fact that I think Naz, you touched upon it really well. I think what really gets me is when you think about Ray's point of view, and he spent half of his life trying to get Norman and Emma to survive. Yeah. And he doesn't care about anyone else. And they've implied that he doesn't even care about his own safety. Like he really just wants Norman and Emma to survive. Right. And to see that his plan has failed. Like Norman is getting shipped off. He has failed his life goal. Like, I think that's what really hurts when you see him and he's so just like so devastated.
Yes.
Like that just sucks.
You can see it on his face more than like either of the other two or anybody else. I mean, everyone else doesn't know except for Don and Gilda, but like maybe it's so
Phil?
much more apparent. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course Phil knows.
Phil is levitating by this episode.
No, but like legit Phil though.
But actually Phil.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. You can just see it like way more on Ray's face than anybody else. So I think like that was kind of something that was like forgotten.
Yeah.
That I had like forgotten going into this episode. And then just like seeing that, I was like, it was just like that like brain explosion moment again where it was like, oh yeah, this is why this shit hurts so much, or like why Ray is one of my favorites.
Yeah. I think it's cool that they had I think it's kind of cool because the main three, they all have like such a different dynamic with each other. Like, Emma and Norman with Ray with Emma, like they all have such a different dynamic and they bring it to life really well. But it really is cool how, we're so focused on how tragic it is that Norman is leaving and Emma is kind of being like, not over the top, but being more vocal about how she doesn't want him to leave and how much it's hurting her, that you almost forget that Ray is hurting as much, if not more. But then they remind you again, like when Norman is walking out, like he has the whole scene with Emma. And then you're like, oh yeah, wait, this sucks for Ray too.
Man, and I love the scenes that immediately follow with like Ray just like in the library, and like if you substituted the books for like half empty bottles of like liquor, like it wouldn't have looked out of place. And I actually love that. Like like it was just so beautifully shot and well shot, and like showing the despair that like Ray felt without uttering a single word. Oh man. Also, speaking of, I realized that Mama is a Fujoshi.
Wait,
because she's think of the last two people who are leaving. She's shipping Norman and Ray.
No.
Oh my goodness.
I hate. Why did you say that? It's funny, but I hate it. Why did you do that? No.
Jeez.
No.
I can't believe you've done this.
Oh my god, he got us.
I had to do it to him.
I'm gonna take a reprieve from that comment to say, best comment in chat that we have seen is at the end of the season, after unlocking his powers, Phil will walk across the gap to begin his search for the Dragon Balls. That's like might be one of the best comments we've gotten in the chat. So props to that. That's probably what's gonna happen. I mean,
Phil with the ultra instinct.
Ultra instinct. Oh my god, I love it. Yeah,
no, they have focused a lot more on Phil, and like from episode 1, like obviously like we've been memeing because he loves trains, and obviously that makes him the best. But like more and more, they've been like focusing him like camera wise and like shot wise, and like he even hugs Emma in like the most dramatic hug out of nowhere.
He's so sad and
like,
it's so cute.
Emma's just like literally like depressed AF, like leaning against a tree as like deadly.
She looks like a war veteran.
Yeah. Metaphors, by the way. And then like Phil just like cries and goes like Emma and like falls on her.
It's so cute too. I think in one of those polls that they have each week for like the best characters of the season, they did like, you guys know
our anime?
No,
Yeah.
I think it's they
Or
post them on
it's the Annie Trends thing.
Yeah,
No.
Annie Trends. Yeah, they follow me back on Twitter, and I'm pretty honored. So I'm gonna just
Hi, pretty honored.
tweet at them. Oh my god, no! I can't even play off that. Anyway, so they followed me on Twitter after I followed them. So I'm probably gonna shitpost at them in like a respectful way, of course.
Mhm.
But they had Phil as like number 8 or 9, like best guy of last week. And he was like above Reagan, which is pretty dank. But like when you think about it, like Reagan has had an amazing development season, and then they got Phil, who's low key a meme and just shows up and looks cute.
But
I mean,
but we all know Phil is the one true savior of the show.
yeah, I mean, like we all know the potential, so I mean, it makes sense. His ranking makes sense.
Phil
It
is
just
going to
doesn't
go
make.
beyond Super Saiyan.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make sense as to why he's not number 1. That's the real question.
Phil is going to save the Avengers in Endgame.
Yeah, like fuck Captain Marvel.
What if the Endgame is a game of hide and seek?
Jesus.
This is the Avengers I want. Yo, they didn't show Thanos in the trailer today,
What if
so
Thanos
he's
is Phil?
hiding.
Oh.
Okay, I can believe it. Yo, I can believe it. We can probably you can probably spin it in a weird way that like Phil has seen all of his brothers and sisters killed because of this demon society, and that's what inspired him to destroy the universe.
And he's like perfectly balanced, as all things must be. Wait, who said this? This is a quote that I don't know if you could tell if Phil said or Thanos said. Run from it, dread it, destiny still arrives.
I don't even know if Thanos actually said that.
It was Phil. It's because Phil said it.
Yeah, Phil knows the word dread
Yes.
at like 5. It makes sense though.
But
I love
Phil's
Phil.
actually a genius, though.
Phil is like actually a genius. Like memes aside, he is like actually a genius in the show.
We have gotten more viewers watching this live as we continue to talk about Phil.
I understand, like, like the powers that may be are like they're with Phil.
They're
We
filling
know.
up the chat room right now.
I think Phil memes have just like at this point just started regressing ever so closely to Shaggy memes. Where like it's just like
Oh my god.
he's only using 0.2% of his power.
You mean
That's just,
Shaggy
like,
memes?
Phil.
Shaggy memes are just a discount Phil meme.
Yeah,
That's pretty
much.
true. I mean, you can't lie with that one. I wish they would replace the Shaggy memes with Phil, or like they could morph into it. God, I love Phil. Sad that Jack can't be here because she loves Phil more than anyone. But you know, rest in peace.
Man, yo, if you're a little kid though, and you're like a smart kid at that orphanage, how do you not pick up on things being fishy?
I wonder because like they're all really smart, but I mean, if you don't
not
have
all
the
of them. Connie wasn't smart.
well, yeah,
That's
she
why
got shipped.
She got out at 4.
Yeah, she got that shipped like
Idiot.
super fast. Like as soon as they could ship her out, they're like, "Yeah, you gotta go." Like you're
She gotta
done.
go.
They were like, we need people with terrible immune systems, and Connie, your kind don't get sick, so.
Wait, how about
Idiots
that?
don't get sick.
Wait, that was hysterical. I love that. Like, I kind of love that because I mean, I love it for obvious reasons, but I really love that as like a microcosm of their interactions on a regular basis. Where like you could just tell that Ray was such a shitter and would constantly tell Emma that she's such a dumbass, and then she would try and like sneak around with Mama and try and like like hang out with them.
Wholesome scene. It was so
It was
cute.
so
wholesome.
cute.
That was adorable.
Mama being such a good mom too, like her interactions with
Trying
Emma
to
were
prevent them from
hilarious.
getting sick. Oh my
I
gosh.
know. And like
Yeah.
carrying Emma like upside down out of the room, but like letting them do the cup phone, and like I'm very partial to cup phones.
Oh yeah, Dozo as fuck.
So I love the fact that Norman carried only the cup phones with him.
That was really cool. I actually was thinking back to it, Naz. I don't know if you remember it, but was this scene in the manga? I don't remember it.
The cup phones?
Yeah.
I don't really think so.
So-
I don't remember. But
Ooh.
it doesn't come to mind.
I
Ooh.
legitimately don't remember the scene. So I'm going to say there's a 50-50 chance that this is anime original. And if it is, that's a pretty great inclusion.
That could be
Yeah.
filler, is what you're saying?
I think he put Phil in the suitcase for the episode.
Filler.
Filler
Filler
Yeah.
arc.
God damn it.
Yes.
God damn it. Phil is too powerful.
He's-
How do you be so powerful?
Oh.
I don't understand.
Someone in the chat said it was a bonus chapter, but it was
It
canon.
was? Cool. Okay. Thank you,
Oh.
chat. Very cool.
Thank you, chat.
But
Chat.
yeah, so
Phil chat.
thank you, Phil chat. We should do that thing where like if people subscribe to us, they can like use different emotes in chat, and we should just make them Phil emotes.
It's just the word Phil, and just people
we get a
chanting,
Phil in the
Phil,
chat?
Phil,
we
Phil.
get a Phil in the
Feels Phil, man.
I love Phil memes so much.
Phil head.
No, yeah, but like, I love that scene. But what have we found out what Sister Crony left for Norman in his drawer? Because she left him like a pen and like a notepad.
Yeah, we have it. They didn't show it. They didn't show what it was.
They were going to show it today, or he was going to show it to Ray and Emma, but like he hasn't.
Yeah.
Press PH for Phil.
PH for Phil. I mean, they didn't show it, so we don't actually know. That's definitely something that was left open, because this was actually an episode where a lot of stuff happened, but they also like set up a lot of things, because they ended it with probably, I'd say, top 5 most iconic manga panels from the show, and it's sad that 17 isn't.
I'm so mad that 17 isn't here,
because that was his like avatar for a while, and I think
a fucking epiphany like as that scene happened. I was like, oh, not even as that scene happened, like afterwards, as I'm talking in chat, I'm like, oh, that's 17's avatar.
Yeah.
Duh. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's one that I mean, 17 didn't, but you don't really recognize it out of context, but it's one that like I definitely didn't want to post too much of, because it's kind of like, it's not a big spoiler, but it's like a cool reveal of like, holy shit, Emma's going hard. Like we've never seen Emma. Yeah, going hard in the Phil. And we've never seen Emma going.
Hold on a second.
Yo, this is a no filter podcast. So.
Oh my god. I can't keep up with our own film memes, honestly. But yeah, they like, it's such a cool manga panel. I think there's 2 or 3 of them that I think of that are like super iconic, and one of them is like, one is obviously the Connie one from chapter 1. The second one,
Mama Emma one in the hallway.
Yeah, that one's probably the biggest one, and this is probably like third biggest, at least from my limited memory, since I can't even remember if they had the cup shit in the manga. But like, this Emma scene was when I remember reading it and going like, I probably said poggers in real life, like really cringy.
No, why?
I was like, oh,
I
poggers.
used to say poggers, but now I sell foggers.
I knew you were gonna try and work it in with Phil's name, but I didn't know how you were gonna do it. So
I was going to say Phil, and then the second half of poggers, and then I was like, nope, that doesn't sound anything like the word I want to say.
It sounds almost like a slur, so I feel kind of weird saying it.
Yep. So we're not gonna even say poggers. We're just gonna say Phil's.
Just Phil's. Just get a Phil's
in the chat.
Phil's in the chat.
Yeah. So I think that was pretty cool. I really liked this one. Another iconic, not iconic, but I think it's a pretty memorable panel was kind of they portrayed it really well when like Norman was like low key about to confess to Emma when he did like the cheek thing, then they pull away and they show like Mama putting on his hat. That's like that was like probably the best adaptation of a panel I've seen in the show thus far, because you really get that same perception of like, he's trying to confess to Emma, kind of, like maintain, kind of like stay grounded with her. And then Mama is like pulling him back, like, nope, we're going to go. Got to get off the farm.
I thought that was Norman doing like a sleight of hand thing, because they have the tracker breaker in the other hand.
Oh,
and
that's
he
true.
needs to make sure Mama doesn't look at his hand as he's giving it back to Emma. So how do you make sure she doesn't see his right hand? You do something with your left hand that like takes more attention. So I thought maybe like I'm big braining this, and like that's not actually what Norman was doing.
This is the show to big brain it, TBH.
Yeah.
But like I was like, why would Norman do that? Because Norman has always been about Emma's survival most, over his own needs, over his own emotions. And so to me, I felt like that's how he could like, maybe that's like what he's doing. Like he's trying to make sure that the exchange with the hands on it with his right hand goes smoothly. So he goes with the left hand, even though he knows it's going to get obviously interrupted by Mama.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a cool take on it. I didn't even think of that, because I thought of it as I thought he was going to confess, because it was like, they do the thing where like he started this, what I thought was the confession, the way everyone kind of starts the confession. And like Emma was kind of blushing at it, but that's like a much more likely interpretation of what happened.
Because
And
it goes
that's more in
straight to
line-
his hands after that. Like the shot right afterwards is off the hand doing the exchange.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that actually makes a lot more sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
So,
agree. I don't actually remember which one it is, but
I'm not sure because
I-
we
I
all
think
know
Fate's
that
probably
Norman likes
right.
Emma. Like we know
yeah,
she
we
doesn't
then
know.
knew.
So,
I
yeah.
also think the most likely, actually above that, the most likely scenario is that Mama knew what Norman was going to say
Mhm.
because he was going to say, and that's why I love Amelia.
Amelia's like, I'm gonna stop you right there.
Yo, wait a minute. That's why you love Mama so much. It's not because she's like really Manga in like how she presents herself. It's because she stopped I Love Amelia 2.0.
Yes,
It
she
all makes
did.
sense. Oh, that's a good
And
trans.
because yes, right? Because she stopped at that ship and she's shipping Norman and Ray.
Oh, stop.
You know, I'm not even mad at this point. I ain't even mad. This is just I love the mental fill gymnastics for this one. I love it.
Ooh. Yes, I'm really a philanthropist with my memes today.
Oh my god, that was
Goodness.
good. No, I can't even get mad. But yeah, what was I going to say? So speaking of Mama, I really like Mama in this
Mhm.
episode.
Mhm.
Not because she's shipping Ray and Norman, or because I want her to step on me, but because I
Manga.
actually really like how they did a great job of showing her like an insight into her character without being like, hey guys, this is how Mama feels. Here's like 10 flashbacks to her childhood where she was in a similar situation. It was just kind of her saying like, you know, you need to accept despair so you can, you know, enjoy what's left of your life. And I think that she genuinely believes that, and she was genuinely trying to help Emma while maintaining that she's not going to let Emma go, because we got a lot of really cool like subtle insights into Mama's emotional state during this.
Yeah. I was gonna say that like for a lot of the show, Mama
Mhm.
has been just kind of like that presence that like
Mhm.
we don't want to fuck with.
Yeah.
We don't want to mess with this right now. But then like this episode, I don't want to say it's her coming out party because she's had
Yeah.
like moments before, but it was basically just like be prepared from the Lion King, but like for 20 minutes if he was just going around and like whispering shit to Simba to make him feel like a piece of shit, pretty much. Like,
Yeah, that's a pretty good way of describing it. Because she is literally saying, "Be prepared." Like, be prepared to die.
Prepared.
yeah.
I
Great
like
song,
it.
by the way.
Yes.
Great song. Great
Thank you.
movie.
I don't want to get hit with a copyright strike though, so we're
We
we're
would
not
like
gonna
probably
say
unironically get a copyright strike from you singing that.
that.
Like, that would actually happen.
But Phil can save us.
Phil of the future is going to come in and save us. I'm so happy. But yeah, I think what was I going to say? I just like how they handled that. I was thinking
Mhm.
about this and I realized that like, I mean, I didn't just realize, but I like the connection of Mama to potentially Nurse Ratched from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, because they both kind of symbolize that terrifying fear of like motherly caretaker figures just, you know, completely ruining your well-being.
Mhm.
And I think that's why she's so effective, because we already knew like, oh, everyone loves Mama. She's so intelligent. She's so smart. But like, she genuinely mixes in that I care about you and I want to take care of you. And, you know, I'm genuinely, in my opinion, looking out for you.
Yeah.
But I'm also content with you're going to die at a young age. Like, I'm not going to stop
I still
you
got
from
a job to do.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like really interesting with that scene where Norman asks her, like, is she happy? And she like kind of pauses, but not enough to be an obvious pause. And she does say yes, like she's happy.
Right, like it could have been, but see, like the lamp goes kind of crazy, and like
Mhm.
Mama's so composed and dignified and like flawless that she would never trip while walking.
Yes.
But like she doesn't give anything away with her, like she kind of does, like initially as it like smash cuts to her face.
Yeah.
But like she
was
doesn't when
subtle.
she talks with Norman. It's really nice.
Yeah.
I
It's
love
really
Mama.
subtle.
Like she's such a great character. She to me
She's
makes the
great.
show. Because I feel like if you just had like a standard like, oh ha ha ha, I'm so evil, so terrible kind of
the
villain.
bad guy was a demon, you know,
Mhm,
like
right.
literal demon. Yeah.
Or if the bad guy was like, I don't know, some like villain who's been hyped up for like several seasons, like 100 or so chapters, and like takes down the hero and like disappears immediately afterward, and like doesn't really have any bearing on the actual story arc of the show. or the manga.
I mean,
feel like
Phil has been here from the start. You don't have to. You don't have to at the nature of Phil.
thank you. But like she's also not like a she's not like a one-time like foreboding big bad who like is more of a an ideological villain than like a present villain, but she's also not like a when do you think you've ever done anything without like my planning to make you do that? Why do you think everything's happened the way it has? Like conniving kind of villain. She has a little bit of that, a little bit to it, but she's like a lot more realistic in that way. And for me, I get the sense that when like she broke Emma's leg and she talked about how much she cares about the children, like I actually believe her. Like I think
I agree.
It's like a warped sense of like these kids have no choice in their lives, so why not make it as pleasant and loving as possible, because there's nothing I can do to save them.
Because also in her point of view, she also has no choice. You know, she was groomed in the same situation. Yeah.
You had to come to the same conclusions pretty much.
Yeah, because her point of view is like, what's the best possible outcome for her would be to be a mama and take care of all these kids and live out her life as long as she can. You know, she's really just trying to survive. And you can't really blame her for that, because that is the situation she's in. And as much as it's kind of endearing that Emma is willing to sacrifice herself for others, you know, that's not a realistic thing. And this show does have a lot of realistic aspects of society where, you know, not everyone is really going to sacrifice themselves if they feel like it's going to be pointless. You know, at least in Norman's case, he feels like he's sacrificing himself for others. But why would Mama just lay down her life? Like, for all we know, she has no one. She has no peer. She has no camaraderie with anyone else on her level. So it is really like her versus the universe.
So like one of the things I do, and like this is kind of weird, but I always like try to imagine like what like a certain character's like, especially in like like anime and manga where like a lot of people die.
Yeah.
I always try to think of like what would be the best way for them to die. Like like what would I love for them to like say as they die, right? I don't know. I'm just weird that way.
No, but, I know what you mean. I think I've thought of this too.
So like I was like, well, like I would love if like when Mama died, like Emma is there, and then like at the last second, she like these. Can I spoil FMAB here?
I mean, I don't think so. I don't think you can. You cannot.
At one point, someone dies, and they say, "Do you have any regrets?" And they go, "No."
Yeah.
And I would love if like Mama had the same thing, and she's like, "I don't have any regrets." But like, and if like Emma and Ray succeed, she's like, at the very end when she realizes she's lost and they've won, she like gives them the extra push or whatever to help them like really succeed.
Krone kind of did that.
Exactly. So like something like that to show that like there's still some spark in her that's still human. Like I would love to see something.
I love that too.
Yeah, because it just reminds you at the end of the day that in like the long run they are kind of on the same side. It's just the fact that circumstances have made it seem like they're not, but like it's a demon world, so like
it's
they're just trying to live.
Human world. Human world kind of place.
It's eat cereal before you pour in milk.
Eat cereal before you pour in. Wait.
Yeah.
You just pour the bowl of cereal, then you eat the cereal, and then you're like, oh shit, I forgot the milk. You just drink the milk.
Yo, why do you think they're demons?
They ain't got milk.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool way of looking at it too. I would like that as well, because I do think that Mama is still a victim in this circumstance, but she's kind of like, you know, she doesn't really have a choice. Like, what else is she gonna do? So I like her as a villain too. I think she's got like the emotional, mental, and physical aspects of a villain without being really over the top about it.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
so
I think 17 said in the chat that like she's given up, and from her perspective, all she can do is just make them happy during the time that she actually has to like actually control. Which is
because think
pretty
about
much sums it up.
If you're Connie, like Connie had a really pleasant life, much more pleasant than if like she was like terrorized by demons and like starving and hungry and like scared and cold and hiding all the time. Like she had a brief moment, probably of fear, before she was killed.
Do you think they kill them knowing that they're going to be scared, or that might actually like fuck with their minds and make their meat less good?
Well, that's the thing with cows actually. When you kill
Ooh.
them, you can't scare them beforehand, because otherwise it like taints the meat because like
Endorphins and,
the
like,
adrenaline goes through.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And like if they're eating them for their brains, adrenaline is a fire. Like it goes through your nervous system.
Yeah.
So I would think that they probably don't want them to, unless I mean like Crony probably wasn't killed to be eaten. She was probably killed to be killed. It
Yeah,
felt
I was
like they were
thinking that.
toying with their food with her.
Yeah, that was weird when you think
Uh-huh.
about it. I'm like, are they gonna eat her or not? Like, why are they doing this? Because why would they do? I don't know. I'm not gonna think about that too much.
I
but
mean,
yeah,
Shaw, like sure, I can have better food than the $1 for 5 dumplings I get at Chinatown that doesn't have a health inspection rating. But sometimes I do it anyway.
I
And
don't
that might
know
have
if
been
Crone
Crone.
will be a dumpling. I don't know if he's a dumpling. I do
Well-
feel that though. But I was like thinking, yeah, but I guess like yeah,
Norman was a dumpling. Norman was
oh, he looked like such a dumpling when he was like a
was
young
so
kid.
cute.
He was an
so cute.
adorable dumpling.
He was
Because we
so
already saw
cute.
them as kids and they were cute, but they were especially cute. Like when
as, like,
Emma
a tiny
jumped up,
little baby. Yeah.
when her hair jumped up. Oh my gosh, so
Oh my
cute.
God. With the ahoge, with the
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh
That
my
was so
gosh.
cute.
So and like Ray was super cute too, even though like he doesn't have infantile whatchamacallit,
Infantile
amnesia.
Infantile amnesia. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like he actually remembers everything, which is whatever. But like it was so cute.
Isn't that what Alakazam does too? I think.
The Pokemon.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Really?
that would. I didn't know that.
Wait, is that from the
I
first
think
season? when
I
you go
think
to-
no, I think literally the like Pokédex description for Alakazam is like it can remember every single thing it was taught from birth.
Oh
So
wow.
everyone
Ray
was
is
calling
Ray can
out.
remember
Alakazam.
things before birth.
So everyone was calling out how bullshit this was and how it's not a thing. But little did they know that we're just in the Pokemon world. Yo,
Wait,
get owned.
what
Get
if
owned, lamers.
Detective Pikachu is about the promised Neverland?
The Promised Pikachu. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Emma as Ryan Reynolds playing Emma in the dub.
I'd be down with that. That would be dank enough.
Ryan
to work.
Reynolds playing Phil in the dub.
I'd be more down with that. Okay, we found
God.
the perfect casting. It's like Deadpool 2.0. This is perfect. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay, so now that you said that, we're in Pokemon's world, and it is no longer a stretch because it's literally Alakazam. Ray is just a Pokemon.
Yeah, it's I just went to the page for Alakazam in Diamond. The entry is its superb memory lets it recall everything it has experienced from birth. Its IQ exceeds 5,000. So Ray's rough estimate on his IQ is about 5K right there. So
Oh, yeah.
So then is the Grace house in Saffron City?
You know,
maybe.
Saffron
And
City
Mama
was
is
creepy.
just Sabrina.
Yo, you
Wait.
guys remember that episode where they're in the dollhouse and she like turned her parents into dolls? That's
Yes.
kind of Promise Neverland-ish. TBH, fam.
Wait, what if the Promised Neverland is just a ripoff of the episode in Pokemon Season 1 when they go to Saffron City?
It's kind of like that's where we're at. Wow, this is the best take we've ever had, like of all time.
Someone said Kadabra's Pokédex is about a kid waking up one day as Kadabra. Shit, what if they turned Norman into Kadabra?
He's a Pokemon. Is Emma gonna capture Norman in the wild?
You know who has orange hair? Emma. You know who else
Misty?
has orange hair? Misty.
But you're gonna say Ash, and I'm like, this is a stretch
No.
because they're the wrong color. Yo, Ray is just Ash. Yo, okay. So when Ash was like riding his bike and then he like fell and he hit his head and saw that bird thing, he just became Ray. Duh. It's all Pokemon.
Norman
guys.
came to save him. No, not Norman.
Phil is Brock,
Emma.
definitely. Phil is
Phil
definitely
Brock.
Phil is bro.
You guys know that Phil is definitely
Phil
Brock.
is 100% a ladies' man too.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like Phil has so many powers. He can take care of all the kids. Brock has like literally 10 brothers and sisters. Holy shit, he's been taking care of kids. Dude,
Wait, he has.
Dude. Guys, it's just Pokemon. The Promised
my
Neverland's just Pokemon.
Oh my
I'm so-
gosh.
This is becoming such a confusing multiverse.
Wait, what
I'm
if
really-
what if Mama is just like a femme Giovanni?
Yo,
God.
who's Rocket? Those two kids? Those two like twinish like kids who were like shooting off like water fireworks and shit and like were running from Crone.
Oh,
forget their
speaking of that scene where all the kids are doing like the recreational shit while Emma's just like edgy against a tree.
Yeah.
What was that game they were playing where like one kid just like
You've
kicked
never
the
played
can
Kick
and
the
then
Can?
well no kick the can but then like the first kid runs after it with a coat hanger.
Wait, what?
I totally missed that.
Yeah, this kid had a coat hanger in his hand. I was like, "What are you doing with
This
that?"
is advanced kick the can.
Yeah, I was gonna make a bad taste joke, but I'm just gonna move
Oh
on.
no. Shaw, you can't because
Kick the-
because Ray can remember things from when he was a fetus.
Yeah, dude, I love the fetus superpowers. That's the dankest shit. That is just literally actually Pokemon.
Yes.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it be like that though.
Yeah, actually, Nas, it's a metaphor. They're kicking the can, and the can is their hopes and dreams,
I was gonna say that.
and they're just kicking it away, and they keep chasing after it. Man,
I thought you were gonna make some other really bad thing about coat hangers, and
I was going to.
We were
but then
going
we
to, but
already
then-
mentioned
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
so I wasn't gonna continue down that road.
we
yeah,
dodged it.
Dodge
But
it, like,
I would actually love it if we never, if they actually never find about Norman's fate.
if
like, If
yeah,
they go on and they're like, maybe he lived, maybe he's still alive, but like we never see him again, and like
Mhm.
Ray and Emma just have to live with this constant state of unknowing, because like sometimes you don't know why shit happens, and like something happens and like you don't actually ever follow up, and like it doesn't seem outside the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
Like, so like I would love it if like they actually never find out if Norman got killed or if he like turned into Kadabra.
Yeah, well, yeah, because we definitely know he's Kadabra now. Like we've determined as a trio and as the Phil chat, like we all know the truth. But Norman and Emma and Ray, they don't know.
The
They don't
first
know.
person to make a Manga Phil emotes will have my undying love.
I've seen a lot of cool Phil emotes, but I don't think I have a Monka one. I do have a dab one. I really like the dab.
A Phil dab one?
Yeah, it's really nice.
It's animated too.
Wait.
Yeah, I'll post it.
Okay, can we have it as like a Phil's dab man?
Phil's dab.
Phil's dab man.
Yeah, I'm just gonna add it to the server. We have no choice.
Urban posted the Fire Red entry for Kadabra, where it's a boy with extrasensory powers awoke in bed, transformed into Kadabra, which is literally just the Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka, but with Kadabra. So somehow this is extending even further. We're just going to all known universes of media.
What if Kafka wrote Promised Neverland?
So Kafka is almost as influential on anime as Schrodinger's cat. Like I've seen many references.
That's true.
Yeah.
Is it Schrodinger's
Nietzsche
Norman?
as well.
Schrodinger's Norman. We don't know if he's Kadabra or dead. I'm loving our canon. Like this is like the
Schrodinger's shipping. We don't know if Mama ships Norman. Well, we actually do know that because she does. We do because she didn't ship Norman and then Emma. She ships Norman and Ray.
So yeah, it's not in a constant state of unknowing because we know.
We actually do know. We cracked the code. This isn't a what is it? Emma dreams of Norman.
Emma dreams of Norman being alive. Yeah.
Does she?
I don't know what she's dreaming because she looks like a war veteran. Like her and Ray.
Do orphans dream of electric sheep?
Of parental sheep.
Yes.
So I guess, what do you think? We made a lot of bold claims, mostly not bold claims, just factual claims about Pokemon. But what are your bold predictions for the rest of the season? Because we have 2 more episodes.
Wait, 2 more? I thought it was 13 episodes.
No,
it's just 12. It should be 13. Yeah. What are they gonna do?
Wait, we're not even gonna get like a 1-hour special at the end? Like Made in Abyss or Kikai?
No, unfortunately.
I wish.
I would love that. That would actually be more perfect, but I think they can do good shit in the next 2 episodes. The show will finally begin, guys. The show is finally here.
When will Promised Neverland bloom?
Yeah. 17 posted Farm Runner. That's actually pretty accurate. But yeah, so Fate, since me and Naz already know, but what are your predictions? What do you think's going to go down?
So obviously, actually,
Phil, you say it in a non-obnoxious way. Like you don't say it in the like nerdy voice way. So it just sounds like you're enunciating, not like you're like actually like that kind of shit.
Phil is going to take over the farm and lead an insurrection by seizing the means of production from the proletariat.
Holy shit.
he's going to start a revolution, and Grace's house will now be called known as Filingrad.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
No, I think. So Emma's obviously been thinking of something. I think maybe because like Promised Neverland does a really good thing. They do like red herrings, but they also do like really good background details that actually come into play later.
Yeah.
And like you saw like Emma like look at the very poorly animated geese that were very poorly animated and
I noticed that. I was like, yo, they didn't really try
Yeah,
with this.
I literally said those fucking geese when I watched that.
It looks very sus.
And like when you think of geese, what comes to mind? The Mighty Ducks. So I think
Oh my goodness.
So
Oh my no.
so they're gonna play hockey against the Russians and play.
that's
for
why
their
they have the
freedom.
coat hanger. They're going to use that as a hockey stick.
No, I think because Emma still can't run, I guess, because it's been like a month and a half or maybe 2 months.
I think it's supposed to be like 2 months because they had enough time between
Yeah.
Norman getting shipped out and then Ray getting shipped out.
Ray is shipped on January 15th, I think.
I don't know if.
But then Norman was like November 11th.
Yeah, it was January
13th
15th because everyone was posting fan art around that time because that's when the anime came out. So everyone was like, happy birthday, Ray. Little did they know that it would be very tragic to get shipped out on his birthday.
And he reciprocated on White Day. How sweet.
Ooh. Maybe the shipping thing is real. Ooh.
Wait, White Day on White Day, Norman, whose hair is white, dies?
And he's wearing white?
Oh my god.
And he is white?
We don't.
One of the whitest names ever.
Norman is definitely one of the whitest names I've ever heard. I'm amazed he wasn't born age like 50.
Just like a Benjamin Button.
Yeah, he's a Benjamin Button. Norman.
He's actually Brad Pitt. Wait, so we have Ryan Reynolds playing Phil and Brad Pitt playing Benjamin Button playing
And then
Norman.
Alakazam playing.
And Misty playing.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So maybe the only thing that's stopping me from thinking that like Emma's thinking of a flying contraption or like a glider thing because you can glide from a high place is the fact that the geese were so poorly animated.
So they can't fly.
I'm like, no, like if you can't draw geese flying in the sky,
These aren't important enough.
That is like, this is kind of, that sounds like a meme, but low key, like you're actually thinking this through from a production standpoint of like, if these guys aren't going to figure out how to draw geese flying, they're not going to figure out how to draw Emma flying in 2 episodes. So there's no way they're actually doing that. Like, this is like actual 15D chess, like real life chess based on
10D underwater mahjong. So.
Yeah, not in the air mahjong. You can't draw that shit.
So,
like, no, go ahead, Dozo.
So I think that might happen, and I think as they're like, but like, how do you glide everyone away? Do you do like a giant fucking parachute to like paradrop like 37 kids? I love how we started with 39. I think we started with 38. We got one back with the baby who was 100% not Emma's little
trade.
Yeah. Connie for totally not Emma's little sibling.
Yeah, right. Mini Emma. If she's as smart as Mini Emma, that's probably like an OBJ like trade. That's kind of close enough.
Oh my god.
Rest in peace.
Speaking of 10D chess and underwater mahjong, it's totally unrelated to the anime, but for the OBJ trade, one of the comments in the thread was Dave Gettleman playing 1D Pong.
I love that. Yo, guys, I'm just saying, like the Giants
is Don Dave Gettleman then?
No, because guess what? So the demons are giant compared to the humans, and in real life, the New York Giants. So they're actually just demons, but then they're dumb as fuck. So it makes sense.
Oh, and you know who the Giants beat in the Super Bowl? The Patriots.
How does that? Well, they can't beat Phil. Phil is a Patriot.
No. You know, traitors aren't patriots. So they haven't gone to Ray yet, but Norman was super loyal. They got the Norman.
I just know that Phil is Tom Brady in this scenario. That's all I know.
Phil's gonna clutch it out. Wait, no. Or is he Nick Foles? I'm not gonna use his actual full name because he's Phil.
I don't know. I feel weird now. I feel a lot of stuff.
Are you denying Phil's rightful name?
I don't know.
The first of his name.
I don't know, but like, the
king of the
superpowers within Tom Brady and then Phil. You know, it's very
What if
careful.
Phil channels
Phil Foles. That's a good name. That's a good
Phil
name.
Foles?
Phil
Or
Foles.
what if Tom Brady channels Phil? What if Tom Brady's diet is actually the orphans from the Gray's house?
Yeah, that's a new way to say vegan toast. You know, it's just that's why they didn't say the name in the series, even though in the manga, like the name of the like person who they were mentioned, like the big demon dude, they wrote his name in like fucking Egyptian hieroglyphics. The reason they didn't say it is because of copyright issues. They can't just say Tom Brady is the demon lord. You know, they're going to get sued. They can't say that. That's why they said
wonder
him.
he's so flexible.
I don't.
And that's why he has such a big brain. Like, because he keeps eating their brains to feast upon them. And and that's how he stays so youthful. Because I watched this amazing anime film recently called I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. Guys, I'm serious.
I knew it was coming.
And that fantastic, brilliant, best of all time anime film. They talk about how like in the old days, like if you had like a stomach problem, you'd eat a stomach.
Yeah.
Like Brady has a youth problem, so he's eating the youths. I want to eat your orphanage.
Oh my god.
I'm naming this episode I Want to Eat Your Orphanage. Literally the show. It's actually just the show. How do I even how do we even
also
that?
what if the big bad in Promised Neverland is the main character in Pancreas? Because he also doesn't like being called by his name, remember?
Yo, is it just Ray because like he loves reading books? Like the dude. So Naz, I don't think. Did you see Pancreas?
I haven't seen it yet. I just listened to word of mouth, but
yeah, I'm
Word of
sorry
Pancreas.
I'm sorry you had to hear so much from me just shit talking it. But essentially, like the main character is like the classic dude who just like kind of sucks and doesn't do anything, but he doesn't really have a reason. He just like really loves reading books. But now it makes sense because he has such past trauma that he forgot any semblance of a personality. So now he's just like, yo, I just love books, man. Can't hang with reality.
yeah, he had an equivalent exchange where he got infantile. He didn't have infantile amnesia, but he just didn't have a personality either.
Exactly.
Wait, he did an equivalent exchange when he but instead of being sent into like 1945 Germany, he got sent into 2018 Japan.
It makes sense.
Oh my goodness.
Everything we
Promised
said
Neverland 2003.
I don't even know what we were talking about before we went into football and now Pancreas and
you know, the Pokemon stuff though, we're not wrong. Like we're not
I'm
wrong.
glad we can have a lighthearted conversation after this episode.
I feel very touched by this episode. Like I think before I went in and I was like, this was a really good episode, but I felt sad. Now I'm just ready to arrest Tom Brady. Like
Yes.
I think
Yeah, you know who also feels touched? Norman.
I really hope he does not feel touched. I hope he is not feeling that. So yeah.
His plan really bit him in the ass.
No, I hope it doesn't. I really hope it does not. I really hope that's not what's going down.
If you what I'm trying to think of a pun with pancreas and brain fart. Give me a second.
Oh my god.
I feel like have to.
Yeah. You know, I can't actually think of making those two work because, like, straight up, I think that one's even too much of a stretch. We made a lot of good pancreas puns, though.
I know Phil could do it, but I'm not worthy.
Yeah, oh my god, I love CP Man was the room Norman walked into was the Patriots locker room.
Oh wait! Oh my gosh! Wait, Norman is like, she boomed me. That fucking mama boomed me.
She's so good. She's so good.
He repeated 4 times. And then Norman added mama to the list of people he wants to see if he doesn't get eaten.
Dude, wait, that's actually the best meme I've heard for this. That's like actually on point. That's so perfect.
If Norman was more of an asshole, you could have done the Jimmy Butler one where it's like, you need me, you fucking need me.
Wait, that works for Ray. Like Ray yelling at mama, you need me.
You fucking need me. Coaches and players were stunned. Jimmy's back.
Yo, I love Jimmy Butler.
Back. Oh my god.
Man.
Well, I don't even know. Is there anything else that we could possibly say that we have not said? We've said literally everything we could say.
I'm really surprised that the ED for this series, both the OP and the first ED and second ED are already on Spotify.
Nice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, Spotify.
It's almost as if Cloverworks is a subsidiary of A1 Pictures, which is a subsidiary of A1 Aniplex, which is a subsidiary of Sony Music Entertainment Japan, who is a powerhouse in the entire like entertainment sphere. And the artist is signed under a label that's like under a label that's under Sony Music Entertainment Japan.
So what you're telling me is this is just Grimgar.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Grimgar was a little bit more like on the nose about being like an advertisement for its fans. Yeah.
You know, it makes sense, but like this is a very subtle show. You know, they got to be like in the weeds about like, hey, guess who made us?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why they're Cloverworks now.
Oh, I did. Okay. If they do this, I don't think they're going to do it, but I just want to say if they change the opening for the next episode and they take Norman out of it, a la like ReZero. No, not ReZero. ReZero didn't even have openings. What am I talking about? More like Erased, you know, when they like.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
When they took out the
Yeah. If they do that, I'm going to be.
Well, they did
filling
take
in the
Sister
chat.
Crone. And if they only
Did
take
they
out wow, so they take out the white kid, but not the black woman.
Wait, I wanted them to do that. Yeah.
That's pretty fucking racist, Shaw.
I feel like it's racist. I want them both to be taken out because I feel like that would be really cool.
I want them both to be taken out to a nice dinner. Oh wait, they were.
No, I knew it was gonna happen, but I couldn't stop it.
So are they actual takeout then, or are they delivery?
I think they're delivery.
Okay.
I think
It's not the Giornos. It's
yeah. They don't have a window where you can roll up and be like, hey, let me get like two 12-year-olds. You know.
Is that what they mean by a kids meal?
Well,
what if the head demon is actually just Big Smoke from San Andreas?
What if the head demon is just the head of McDonald's?
It would make sense. It would make sense logically speaking.
Yeah, why do you think they're called kids meals? They're not for kids. They're for kids by kids.
Oh my god. Yeah, so I definitely want to die now. I think I'm good. I think I'm good now. Mama's about to show up and be like, "You lived a happy life," and I'm like, "Yeah, mostly. Like, you know, we were mostly good."
Imagine being like, man. Imagine if like you actually had an unhappy life and like Mama was like really comforting you as you're leaving, being like, "No, you're gonna love your foster family. Shh, it's gonna be all right." And then you get eaten. Like, man, ugh.
What if there was a kid who was like, "Mom, I didn't have a good time here on the farm," and she's like,
"Well, do I have a surprise for you?"
Yeah. I got bad news.
Well, it's not going up from here.
If you thought that sucked,
wait until you.
Also, can we just mention Mama just like in front with like basically every other kid in the house? They're just whispering to Emma, "Do anything else, and I'll fucking kill you."
Yo, I was wondering what she was gonna do because like they were kind of making a fool out of themselves with like trying to pretend, and then Emma was trying to go all like not Sudoku on this, but then she like had to hold down the fort. So I respect her just being straight up like, "Emma, we ain't got time for your bullshit. I will literally kill you, you dumb bitch." Like, shut it down.
I know I've been pushy this episode, but can someone also make like a edit where it's like as she leans in, she says, "Hail Hydra," and then it just cuts to Winter Soldier.
No, then you gotta get the new Avengers trailer.
Oh, yes. Oh man, I can't wait for if the kids escape because they build a glider or something, and then like the demons and the grandma get together and they're like, we can't replicate this, and then Mama's like, "Emma and Ray built this in a cave
with scraps."
With scraps.
I just wonder. Okay, I like your glider idea, minus the whole they didn't.
Iron Man suit actually. Wait, it's got like the repulsors and stuff, so they can actually fly. It's built off an arc reactor.
Is that how? That's what Ray was getting all those gifts for over the years to make
he was creating an Iron Man suit. It just ends with like Mama being like, "So who are you?" I like Ray. He's like, "Don't call me that. I am Iron Man." And then like oh, they find Norman's dead body, but he's like just struggling to live, and he's like, this was never going to work if you guys didn't have something to avenge, and then dies.
Oh my god.
I feel like we've gotten so far off the beaten path that I don't know what we're talking. I know what we're talking about.
As Norman goes away, he just whispers to them, "We're in the end game now."
Nora goes, I don't feel so Mama, I don't feel so good.
No.
Yo, that like actually could have been an edit. Why didn't we need to make these edits? Holy shit, we got so many memes.
Someone got to get Panic on it.
Panic. The disco, save us.
Save us. Save us from our meme selves.
Save us from our memes and our edits.
Save us from Phil.
No, Phil will save us.
Will Phil save us, or will Phil conquer us?
It's the same thing, really.
Will he only save the Philistines?
This is where I draw the line. The times have gone too far. This is it.
Goodness.
This is the end game. We are end game now.
Is this podcast episode under TV and film, by the way?
Oh my goodness. What gives you the right?
What gives you the right? Yo, I can't believe 17 died for this. Yeah. 17 died for this situation.
Oh, can I also talk about the OST real quick? Because like the music was really good. Like it felt like it was done by a professional Philharmonic.
I want to do the Chica scream, like.
Yeah, where she's just holding it back.
I did then when like Fate like ends up like learning how to serve volleyballs and doesn't make puns. I'm gonna be like, I raised that.
I raised that boy myself.
What the fuck?
Is that what Mama does? When the demons eat their children, she's like,
I raised that.
I raised that boy myself.
That would be beyond fuck. DBH. That would be beyond fuck.
And Kaguya sitting next to her like, what the fuck is wrong?
Yo, yeah, like Krone is Kaguya, and she's like, excuse me.
Kaguya wants to be not eaten too.
Wait, I was gonna say, this is a quick thing. Quick back to somewhat the episode. Mm-hmm. Someone was complaining about the sound design in some random Reddit thread. Do you think the sound design is good? To both of you guys.
Actually, I don't pay as much attention to it as I do like pretty much everything else.
Well, this was how they worded it.
I like the music, but yeah go on.
I worded it poorly. They were kind of like, the OST doesn't match the scenes it's in.
I think it does.
That's what
I mostly brought up the OST to make a Philharmonic joke. But like,
I hope you
I actually did think it was really good this episode.
Yeah,
when,
I thought so too.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna comment on that, and then it just I got fucking bamboozled.
Fucking boom dust.
Go,
again.
Go bam bam bam. Go fool him.
Fool him.
I can't believe we got bamboozled by fate once again. Well,
what's the Stephen A. Smith quote? We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
This is as a 9, as a 10, as 11, as a 12.
Oh my God.
The sheer audacity.
What gives you the right?
The absolute gall.
Oh my God. I'm punned out. I think I didn't even know what I wanted to cover, but I think we did. I think we did it. But did you guys have anything else you wanted to drop? Any kind of headcanons, any kind of puns? Looking at you, Naz, no more puns from Fate.
I'm like, I'm legit trying to.
Did you wanted me to say it?
Do it. Say the thing.
Oh, okay, yeah. Norman, more like no more, man.
Oh, it's gone.
You can't see what I'm dabbing right now.
Yeah, forget the Phil dab.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh.
I'm so scared.
Why do you think Ray stopped reading?
He can't hear the notes.
He lost his book of Norman.
Why did you say that? Why did you say that? No.
Oh my goodness. Now how can he find Jesus?
PH dab.
PH dab. Yeah, I don't have anything. I have no soul. I wish I got shipped out. I might ship myself
With Ray?
out.
Are you gonna ship yourself?
No.
Okay.
Come
down.
Jack always pulls this on me because I did find more fan art of people saying how Karu and Karu from Haikyuu and Ray look like siblings, and someone was like,
No.
"Oh my god, my family," and I'm like, "No, this is weird. I don't want a family like this."
Or do you?
No,
You think
most
Kuro
thing-
could just use Ray as a ball and just like spike the shit out of him?
well, he's
Wait,
more of
that's
a
what they're
blocker.
actually using the brains for, to make volleyballs.
I feel like that wouldn't be very aerodynamic. I feel like their big brains would be too heavy and not bouncy enough.
Ray's hair alone is not aerodynamic.
It's more of a philosophical point.
Oh my god.
We're done. We are done. Okay, I'm cutting everyone off. Naz, thank you for joining. Fate, thank you for joining. Thank you for memeing. We came up with some galaxy brain points. Like I think we came up with. We figured out the problems to everything. We know whose cast is who in the live action, and it's just really Pokemon. We are really just Pokemon.
It's actually Ryan Reynolds is playing everyone.
Yes, it's the only answer. It's the only answer at this point. But hopefully we'll have more answers for you next week when
and
we
more
do.
Phil puns, because I've run out honestly right now. I'm trying to think of more, but
No, we got to end it before it's too late. No, but yeah, thank you to everyone for tuning in. We will see you next week for Promise Never Weekly episode 11, which will be our second to last episode. And hopefully we'll have more puns, more memes, and more fun times. So
more Phil the Thrill. Phil the Thrill.
Phil, no, I hate this. No. But thanks. In the meantime, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, join the Discord so you can see the Phil dabs I was talking about.
Wah.
Dab. But in the meantime, have a good night and thanks again.
Bye.
May the Phil be with you.
No.